compound inside sang mga ano lagi nahimo sterile nga mga things. So phenols are weak acids because they can transfer a proton to water to a very small extent. So one example, we have the phenol plus the sodium hydroxide, no, through the presence of water mag-give siya sang sang compound nga sodium phenoxide plus water. So preparation of alcohol. So how does the alcohols are being prepared? So alcohols are derived from many types of compounds. The alcohol hydroxyl can be converted to many other functional groups. This makes alcohol useful in synthesis because, for example, these are our alcohols. So they can be attached to certain different kinds of compounds that will make eventually a new compound. So we have the alkyl halides, the esters, carboxylic acids, alkenes, ketones, aldehydes, and ethers. So we will talk later on about mga sa muna no further again. So what are the physical properties of our alcohols? So number one, alcohols are polar molecules. When we say polar, they can be attached to water because oxygen and hydrogen and carbon and oxygen. So electronegativity, so muna niya mga values. Then hydrogen bonding occurs between alcohols molecule or alcohol molecule. So relatively weak bond represented by dots. We have the O and has partiality negative charge which is the gamma. No? So have higher boiling point than alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, and alkyl halides. Ano kung magkambal ka, have a higher boiling point? Let's say our water boils at the temperature ng 100 degrees Celsius. And then for alcohol, it's a different also nga temperature in which the alcohols are boiling. For our phenol, no, it's the same with the alcohol. It's because ara man siya sa properties ng aton alcohol. So due to the oxygen presence forming polar bonds between our carbon, oxygen, and oxygen hydrogen. So they are weak acids. Alcohols weaker than phenol. Then 5, solubility in water. The molecular weight taas siya compare sa iya nga solubility. Meaning, molecular weight kung ang solubility is inversely proportional. So, as the chain of the R group increases, the hydrocarbon or the non-polar nga group character of the compound overshadows the polar character of the hydroxyl group. Consequently, the solubility and boiling point of an alcohol are affected by the length of the carbon chain, the shape of the molecules, because the more complex ang aton nga ginatawag na compound, the more double bond, the more triple bond, or the bigger ang molecule nga inside sa aton compound. Therefore, mas dugay siya i-boil naton because kinanglanon pa siya i-break down nga into simpler forms or our single bonds antis mo siya matunaw gid siya or antis siya mangin soluble or antis mo siya mabukal gid maayo. So the short chain alcohols are soluble in water. So the short chains alcohols are soluble in water, whereas the longer chain alcohols are insoluble in water. So kung short chains, kung hindi complex, more soluble in water. So let's say for example, no, we have the example sang 70% nga isopropyl alcohol. 70% alcohol and 30% water na siya. So dasig lang siya, hindi mo ma-mix class sa water kung ibubo mo siya gani sa water, no, hindi mo siya mabalaan. So in general, a molecule which is more compact, example more branch, will be more soluble in water and will have a lower boiling point than the straight chain isomer. So kung the more compact or more branch, more soluble siya sa water. Kag kung lower ang boiling point niya naman, kung straight chain lang sa meaning dasig lang siya mag-evaporate, dasig siya mag-bukal. So applications, alcohol can be used for many scientific, medical, and industrial utilities. For beverages, we have alcohols can be used as beverage, for example, the ethanol, fermented sugar siya. This ethanol are formed, no, makita natin sa mga beers naton. So alcohol usage, especially at a young age, may lead to depression, addiction, serious liver problems such as fatty liver, which is basically the liver falling apart, illnesses also in the brain or the atrophy. Atrophy, when we say atrophy, nagpupos ang muscle naton. So, nagapupos ang muscle sa brain. Gali kung early ka pa nag-inom or early ka pa naging drunkard. So, you have heart problem, pancreas and stomach, ultimately serious malformation of embryos. Kung nagabusong, sige inom. So, fuel. So, some alcohol, mainly ethanol and methanol, no, can be used as an alcohol fuel. So, performance can be increased in forced induction, internal combustion engines by injecting alcohol into the air intake after the turbocharger or supercharger has pressurized the air. So, one example, we have the methane gas or the methanol, no? Ang mga methane na naton, kung sindihan, asa naton, nag-ano siya, nag-inflame siya or nag-produce siya sa fire. So, we have also the octane. Octane can be seen in our fuel, no? Mga ginatugong sa salakyan. So, these are also form of our alcohol. So this cools the pressurized air, providing a denser air charge which allows for more fuel and therefore more power. In the industry, our alcohols have application in sciences as reagents or solvents. So because of its low toxicity and ability to dissolve non-polar substances, ethanol can be used as a solvent in medical drugs, perfumes, yes, no? Some of our perfumes, ang ginasakot dira is our ethanol. Vegetable essences such as vanilla. In organic synthesis, alcohol serves as versatile intermediates. Then in our pharmacy or in our pharmaceutical, no, ethanol can be used as an antiseptic to disinfect the skin before injections are given. So gina-disinfect natin ng area that we inject or give sang aton nga mga intravenous nga mga forms ang aton drugs. So injections are given often along with iodine or iodine. So ethanol-based soaps. So mga example nato, no, we have isopropyl alcohol, ethanol, ethyl alcohol. So ethanol-based soaps are becoming common in restaurants and are convenient because they do not require drying due to volatility of the compound. Alcohol is also used as a preservative for specimens. So alcohol gels have become common as hand sanitizer. So preservative of specimen because some of the tissues in our body, no, for example, mag-form ka sang biopsy. Kung kinanglanan nimo i-diagnose ang patient with cancer, so gina-biopsy na siya. The thing that is being extracted from the patient through the biopsy, no, so ang tissue na siya nga makuha na dira, or let's say bigin operahan ang pasyente, may cyst siya, ginakuha na da ang cyst, and then ang cyst na ginaano siya, gina-preserve siya sa alcohol, ginapa-undergo na siya sa different na processes in which ang aton nga tissues in the body will not be mag-undergo bala sang putrefaction or sang pagkadumog. So kinanglanon siya because kay kung pabayaan na natin ang tissue, for example, di ba parehas ang patay, no, kung di mo siya ma-injectan gani isang formaldehyde or isang formalin, dasig siya maagnas or dasig siya madunot. So for us in the medical nga field, no, kung kinanglanon natin istadihan, like for example for diagnosing cancer patient, for autopsy, para mabalaan natin ang cause of death no sa patient, kinanglanon na natin ma-preserve ang mga tissue until the time nga ma-process siya maayo, ma-view siya sa microscope, and then we can have the diagnosis.